Welcome back to the channel. My name is Lisa Elvin Stoltari, and this is Have Roots Will Travel. I am a genealogist and a passionate traveler, and I like to travel. But sometimes we travel as genealogists through time and space. And I always am so intrigued by whatever the story tells me where they're from and where they're going, I feel like I'm traveling along with them. So today we're going to be looking at Fille du Roi episode 305. I can't believe we're already there. But before we begin, let me show you ways you can support the channel. The first three are all important in terms of algorithms and YouTube stuff. You've got subscribe, which is really, really important. And then you've got like, very important in terms of spreading. The more likes you get, the more people see the video. And notify is just kind of a personal thing where you get a notification whenever I post a new video, so you know you don't lose track. And then in terms of supporting the channel itself, in terms of as a business, we have the memberships that are available through YouTube. And you have memberships that start at 99 cents and all the way up to $24.99. Each of them gives you different levels, different support. Example, at the $24.99 level, those members get some Zoom calls with me. They get a huge discount on any products they want to get. They get 20 videos absolutely free. And each level gets a little bit, a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. So have a look at that and see if it even works for you. And then we also want to have a look at the YouTube Super Thanks, which is a new feature. And you just basically click on it. And if you like a video, you can donate a small amount. And that's really a good thing as well. And then on my PayPal channel, not my PayPal, on my website, I have a PayPal button. And a lot of you use that as well in terms of contributing. So all of that helps my channel grow and my business continue to expand. So I really appreciate each and every one of you and your support. And I list all of your names at the end of this video. So with that being said, let's get started and get to know our Fille du Roi of this episode. Today's episode of Les Filles du Roi is episode 305, Marie-Louise Michaud. And she comes to us from a viewer request, but when I looked in my files, my best friends, this is also her great-grandmother. And the husband of one of my other dear friends, this is also one of his great-grandmothers. So she was born in 1647. And she's born in a commune called Senevois-le-Haut in France. Her parents were Colonel Berthier-En-Bas and Marguerite Tessier. She is the half-sister to Françoise Michel, who we profiled way back when in Fille du Roi episode 44. Now, Senevois-le-Haut has an interesting kind of story. It is found in the region of Bourgogne-Franche-Comté and in the département of Yonne. Historically, it was kind of a hamlet attached to Senevois-le-Bas. So Senevois-le-Haut means the upper Senevois, and it was traditionally attached to Senevois-le-Bas, the lower Senevois. In 1689, during the French Revolution, it was granted its independence, if you will. However, the neighboring village of Senevois-le-Bas is where the Église Saint-Pierre is located, and this is where Marie-Louise would have been baptized. And it is a church from the 13th century, so truly a marvelous thing to behold. Both her parents passed away. She and her half-sister Françoise left for New France as Filles du Roi, and she carried with her 300-pound dowry. They arrived on the ship La Nouvelle France, and the date was July 31st, 1670. Groom that she would select and who would select her is named Jean Daniau de la Prise, and he was born in 1637 in a city actually called Niort in France. His parents were Jean Daniau and René Brunet. Niort is found in the Nouvelle-Aquitaine region and it is the département is known as a Deux-Sèvres. There are currently 58,000 people that live in this city. It is known for its medieval heritage and economic significance. It was once a thriving center for the leather and textile industries, and the town's most iconic landmark, the Donjon de Niort, was built in the 12th century by Henry II of England and Eleanor of Aquitaine, and remains one of the best preserved medieval fortresses in France. You can see it on the left of your screen. During the Protestant Reformation, Niort became a stronghold for Huguenots, many of whom fled to England, the Netherlands, and New France after the revocation of the Edict of Nantes in 1685. Today, Niort is an important financial hub, home to many insurance companies, and serves as a gateway to the nearby Marais Poitevin, which is a vast marshland, often called Green Venice, attracting visitors with its picturesque canals and the natural beauty of it. So just doesn't that make you want to just hop on a plane? It does me. Jean would arrive in New France, as so many did before him, with the Carignan-Salieres regiment, as a soldier with the Frédéric Company. After he had accomplished his mission with the Carignan-Salieres regiment, he did what many of them did, which is to stay on. They were often granted land and would create homes with the hope that they would have a partner to share it with. And 5 years later, after his arrival from New France, he finally did just that. On October 28th, he married, in 1670, in Montreal, he would marry Louise. They would settle at a place called Berthier-En-Bas, which now is called Berthier-sur-Mer. Berthier-sur-Mer means Berthier on the sea, and it's a historic town on the southern shore of the St. Lawrence River. Originally part of the Seigneurie de Berthier, granted in 1672 to Alexandre Berthier, it became home to many early settlers, including former Carignan-Salieres regiments, soldiers, and filles du roi. The area played a key role in the expansion of New France, with common pioneer names like Boucher, Gagne, Morin, Fournier, and Cloutier. Today it's known for its maritime heritage, the scenic river views, and boat tours to Grosseille, a former quarantine station. They would go on to have 4 children. Jacques would marry Louise de Trois-Maisons and would have 9 children, 7 of whom would make it to adulthood. Louise's mother was fille du roi Martine Coisny, who we have profiled, and I provided the links for you. Marguerite would marry Arnaud Laverne and would have 8 children, 4 of whom made it to adulthood. Arnaud's mother was fille du roi Françoise Lefrançois, and I provided the link for you as well. And then we have Marie-Françoise, who married François de Trois-Maisons, the brother of Louise, and hence his mother was also Martine Coisny. And then we have Joseph, otherwise known as Pierre, who would pass away shortly after the 1681 census. In that 1681 census, we have Jean Daniau with Marie, Michaud, and their children Jacques, Marguerite, Marie, and Pierre. 1 gun, 2 bêtes à cornes, and which are like 6, 2 goats or 2 horned animals, and 6 arpents valeurs, about 4 to 5 acres of land. Marie-Louise would pass away much too soon, between 1681 and June 2nd, 1686. It was on this date that Jean would remarry. She and Jean would have been married a little over a decade, but she left us with 32 descendants as of 1729. Jean would go on to marry Françoise Rondeau, the daughter of fille du roi Catherine Verrier, who we've profiled, and I provided the links. They would go on to have 8 children. Jean would marry Françoise Guillemette and have 4 children, all of whom made it. Françoise was the daughter of Marie-Celle, a fille du roi, that we profiled in episode 238, and I provided the link. Guillaume married Geneviève Lenné and would have 5 children, all of who produced children and descendants. He then married Marie-Louise Dumont and would have 1 child who also made it to adulthood. François would marry Marie-Françoise Rousseau I would have 8 children, 7 of whom would make it to adulthood. Laurent would die at 21. Pierre would also pass away at 26. Joseph would marry Marie-Angélique Geneviève Bilodeau and have 5 children, all of whom made it to adulthood. Françoise Martin would marry Claude Gendreau and would have 1 child who did not survive before her early death at 21. And with Auguste, I have no further information, unfortunately. Jean would have the privilege of living a truly full life, dying in 1709 at the age of approximately 72. Just a remarkable man who was able to basically continue on after the loss of his first wife. And we truly, truly are grateful that, even though he lost his first wife, he kept the family going. He added to it with his second wife. So that creates a legacy that I am certain many of you are experiencing today as well. So if you are a descendant of François, or his second wife, I'd love to know that as well. And the reason why I included it is because I really wanted to make certain that we honor that, because that was the continuation of the story started by Marie-Louise. And our story of Marie-Louise Michaud. She left us far too soon. And she left us with 32 descendants. Please let me know in the comments below if you are a descendant, because it's a small group. And also, that's also why I included the continuation of the story, so we can see other descendants that came from his second wife. So let me know if that is something that is part of your heritage as well. I just think that even though she left us so early, I think her contribution and her sacrifice, particularly with these ladies who did not get the gift of longevity, I think that we have to honor them even more because of the fact that they had to give the ultimate gift. And so we are so grateful, Marie-Louise, for your contribution, for your sacrifice, and for your courage to cross an ocean and make sure the story of New France continued. So merci beaucoup, Marie-Louise, and we bless your memory. And I also want to say thank you to my supporters and patrons and subscribers. All of you are just so incredible to me, constantly giving me information and suggestions for how I can improve the channel. So I totally appreciate each and every one of you for being there for me all these years. Actually, it's 4 years, soon to be. So thank you ever so much, and I will see you on the next episode of Les Filles du Roi, which I believe will be episode 306. Bye for now. Au revoir.